Upon hearing that Martin Cahill had carried out a raid on the O'Connor's jewellery factory, members of the Provisional IRA, who were believed to have attempted to rob the jewellers previously, requested to meet the crime boss and his accomplice.
The IRA actually had it reviewed and looked at the O'Connor's jewellers a number of years before, but they actually found that it was too difficult. They didn't have the inside man that Cahill had, and they didn't have the ability to carry out the jewellers. I suppose seeing Cahill rob it might have made them a bit jealous. They would have then wanted to have their share of it. They would have maybe perceived that they had an entitlement to it.
So one of the things they were doing at the time was hitting criminals for money, and especially drug dealers for money, and giving them licenses, just the way the dissident Republicans do it now today. And so it was stupid simple really for them to go and hit Martin Cahill for a portion of the proceeds of the loot from the O'Connor's jewellery robbery. And they arranged to meet in a cafe in Crumlin Shopping Centre, next door to Sundrive Road Garda Station. And they met two senior figures from the Provisional IRA.
And they put it to Martin, we want half your loot, half O'Connor's jewellers. And he said, you're not getting a penny. Fuck off and rob your own gold.
Something that's going to save him. Forget it.
Get out of my face, you're not getting any money.
That's going to turn out to be the most expensive decision you ever made.
And they walked away, but it wasn't to be forgotten.
I bhíne na dálaí árasacha in our Tugam Mary go Hospital Beaumont, tháinig an Canford Gallagher agus leabhar sé le Whelan.
Caig na Blacktree agus na Gardaí intinoscailte a bheith chuig gcónaí, mar cé gur bhfuil scéal amháin a teacht amach ag tús an Israelcáin, orinthe a rítar an scéal nó tagan rodéile le feiscin tar éis sin agus a rítar an sort tróna na hagan an scéal.
Hasta ó Gallagher an láthar a chuimhnú, ach níor hasú mhaith ceistena a tharraingt ó Whelan, agus tír sé ocracha an tí a thuirt go, le go ná scrúdú dhéanamh láthar na timpiste, mar a thug sé
Dr. Mary Cassidy conducted the post-mortem. It was established.
I le dúnmhara. Cúisiú é de bhár na ráite sa dairí sé, fíne sé
burn mark on her neck.
Leis an óla seo, thug na Gardaí cuairt ar Whelan ag teach amháir, áit a rá sé ag fannacht tar éis Bás Mary.
He got a little bit irate. He put his hands up to his head. He says, what are you talking about? What do you mean? I didn't do anything. I'm telling you the truth. I told you. Why don't you believe me? Why don't you believe me? Don't I love my wife? He was very dismissive of the Gardaí and authority.
Ba leor fíne sin an Gardaí, agus an ionise oréonteach bailiús na sé seachtaine tar éis Bás Mary le Whelan a gáil. A chúla an chuairt go bhfuras cá Colin trí.
This watch I got here was first purchased by great-granddaddy. It was bought during the First World War in a little jewelry store in Knoxville, Tennessee. It was bought by Private Dug Boy Ernie Coolidge the day he set sail for Paris. It was your great-granddaddy's war watch, made by the first company ever to make wristwatches. You see, up until then, people just carried pocket watches. Your great-granddaddy wore that watch every day he was in the war. Then when he'd done his duty, he went home to your great-grandmother, took off his watch, and put it in the old coffee jar. And in the jar stayed till your grandfather, Dane Coolidge, was called upon by his country to go overseas and fight the Germans once again. This time they call it World War II. Your great-granddaddy gave it to your granddad for good luck. Unfortunately, Dane's luck wasn't as good as your old man's. Your granddad was a Marine.